Hey everyone, welcome to Flair Pilates this morning. Looking forward to getting started with our stretch band workout. And just testing as always, making sure it's all working, and then we can get going. Hope you're all feeling good. All right, good to go. So grab your space on the mat, starting with our roll downs as always. So planting your feet on the floor, hip width apart, standing up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, we're going to roll down. So let the arms hang heavy. Breath in when we get there. Exhale, rolling up. Big breath in here. And then rolling down. Breath in at the floor. Rolling up. And last one. And up we come. Once you're up on your feet, you're going to take your arms out to the side, moving into those side bends. Straight back up through center, and then over to the other side. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going with those side bends while I just change my aircon settings. All right. Aiming to keep even weight on both of those feet. And with each one, reaching a little bit further, enjoying the nice side bend. Best feeling in the world, in my opinion. And coming back up through center, turning the palms to face the roof, bend those knees. It's a double twist. I've got my weight back over my heels. And the knees nice and bent because it just helps to anchor our pelvis and helps to keep it nice and still while we go for that twist through the waist. And last one, each side. We'll come back to center, give the shoulders a bit of a roll, and we're going to grab your stretch band. So I've gone for, this one is slightly lighter. We can always swap to a heavier one when we pop it, when we're doing stuff for our abdominals, but certainly for arms, this one is enough for me. So we're going to stand on the band just with one foot, and then I'm going to take the band like so. So this other leg is just going to have its toe resting on the mat, and we're going to be moving these arms around. So a little bit of counterbalance, fun stuff, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Hey? Get those shoulders back. We want to draw the belly button in, nice lift of the pelvic floor. And we're going to start with the arms and not worry about the legs first. So just one arm, and then the other arm. And of course, it doesn't have to go all the way up to shoulder height, just whatever you can manage. And now we're going to get the leg involved. So as the leg comes up, the arm comes up, the leg comes up, and as the other arm comes up, the leg lowers. And it doesn't have to be a huge lift, just enough to get those glutes involved. And if you can see that my hip is in parallel, I'm not turning my hip out or anything. I'm not using my quad to lift. I'm really focusing on the glute. Nice. And one more time. Good. Bring that leg underneath you. Just going to concentrate on the arms now. So let's turn out the shoulders and go for some bicep curls. And if you'll just excuse me, my dog is wreaking havoc outside with the plant pot, so I'm just going to let him in. Welcome to my life. Oscar, stop that. Thank you for your patience. Who knows if he's just going to go back around there and do the same thing? We shall see. All right, so now we're going to get this leg involved again. So we're going to take it behind us, same leg as before, just resting the toe on the mat. We're going to start in this position here, and let's leave the toe where it is for the moment, but you're going to take the arms straight out and then bend the elbows back in. We're going straight out and back in. Good. With the leg, so as you go straight out, it's just a little lift and then lower. Tap the toe on the floor. Take the arms out. Pull it back in. Very nice. Keep the belly button drawing into your spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And bring the leg back in. Good. We're going to do the other side. So just swap your feet over. Nice and easy, just like that. Setup is the same. We start with the arms, and then we'll move into the part where the legs get involved. So we want to keep the shoulders down. You want to stay connected through your core. You want to pull up and out of your pelvis, so as if your spine is growing tall right out of that pelvis. All right, we're going to add the legs in. So opposite arm to leg. If you mess it up, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you do. Most important thing is you're here. We're doing this together. Or you're joining me at a later date, of course, later time. Whatever works for your busy life. Oh, certainly feeling the burn in those shoulders. I'm glad my band is not heavier. All right, let's come all the way back in. Back to those bicep curls. So you're going to set the shoulders back. It's going to be the same on this side. Keeping the wrists nice and long. Elbows nice and close to the body. Great. Let's add the foot in. Okay, so we start with the elbows close to the body and arms first for a couple, so we get the idea. Oh, good morning, shoulders. All right, let's get that leg going straight away. Whew. Just a little lift. Oh my goodness, feeling that burn. 3, 2, good news is we get to lie down after this. Woo. 1, we might give the arms a break, bring the leg back in underneath you. Oh, get rid of that band, just pop it down somewhere where you can easily grab it. In a minute, give the shoulders a roll. We're going to walk ourselves down to the mat via a plank or pike position. So standing at the back of your mat, we're going to roll ourselves down, so nodding chin to chest, just like we do with those roll downs at the beginning. Let the arms hang. We're going to place our hands on the mat, and you're going to walk yourself out into a pike position here. Just hanging out here, pressing the heels down towards the floor. Honestly, we're not going to spend much time here. It is nice to be upside down. This is what I like about it. Blood rushing to your head, feels good. Press those heels down or bend the knees. Just make sure the spine gets nice and long. We're going to carry ourselves forward into a plank, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Plenty of time for plank later. Bring those knees in and swivel yourself around, and you're going to lie down on the mat. Okay, so here we are on our spine, supine position. Relax your shoulders. Relax just feel heavy, nice and heavy with that pelvis. Lift the pelvic floor. Draw the belly button to the spine, starting with some bent knee fallout. So nice and easy, letting the knee fall open and bring it back to center. Letting the other side, knee fall open, bring it back to center. So ideally, the pelvis stays nice and stable. We're not letting it tilt as you move your knee. This is just a good way to check in with your core stability and your strength and everything. It feels really easy, but it's actually using a lot of proprioception and a lot of strength that maybe you didn't even know you had to keep the pelvis nice and still. You can always tell a newbie to a Pilates class or a beginner's class just with this simple exercise. And most people improve really quickly once they understand what to do. And a good little trick is if you put your thumb on your ribs here, your forefingers or your middle finger on your ASIS bones or the bones at the front of your pelvis there, and just get a little bit of feedback to see what's going on with any movement. You want to knit your ribs together. One more time each side. All right, perfect. So let's get into some pelvic curls. Rolling the spine up. And then rolling the spine down. You can add the breathing pattern there if you want to. Inhale to start. Exhale takes you up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, rolling down. A few people have asked me recently to put rollovers into my live classes because they want to improve. That's where you take your feet over behind you onto the floor. So I'll try and throw a couple in to this class or each class, or maybe not every class, but some of them a little bit more frequently, because they do feel amazing on the spine, and it's a skill that is challenging to build up, but once you have it, it's really good. So just a little heads up that we might throw one of them in at some point. And the next one can be the last one, and we might hold at the top there. Nice and easy with the glutes and hamstrings. We're going to go halfway down to the floor and then all the way up, squeezing the glutes halfway down and then all the way up. Halfway down, release the glute squeeze, all the way up. And give it a squeeze. Halfway down, no squeeze, all the way up, big squeeze. And 3, and 2, and last one. Good, and rolling down. Nice, stretching out our legs along the floor, taking the arms all the way overhead. I'm too far down my mat, so I'm just going to wriggle up a bit. Roll ups, everybody's favorite, I know. Arms come first, nodding chin to chest. Up we come, nice and smooth around the spine. And we sit up nice and tall, taking the arms overhead, rounding the back and rolling down. Because this is a class that we're meant to be using the stretch band for, I'll use that stretch band for this in just a second, but let's try one more with no help. So if you have more than one stretch band and you know that you need assistance with your roll-ups, it's better to go for the heavier one. So I will do the same, just so you can see the difference. So the red one here is heavier. We're going to place the band around your feet. So it's up to you if you use the band now or continue with what we were doing. The band gives us a little bit more help. I'm just going to lower those legs down nice and carefully and straighten out the arms. Okay, so nodding chin to chest. The band is going to help us. Try not to pull with your biceps, so we round the back and we sit up nice and tall. Round the back, rolling down. If you need a bit more help, tighten up your band. Breathing in here, rolling up, round the back, and sitting tall. You can do this with any TheraBand, of course. The heavier one just gives you that little bit extra something if you need it. round the back, rolling up, sit tall, rolling down, and rolling up. And we're going to do one more here. And then we might stay in a seated position. Going back to some stuff with the arms. So let's sit up nice and tall. So we want a straight spine. If you need to bend your knees in order to get that, please do that. Nice and easy, pulling the elbows behind the body. If you want to, swap back to the lighter TheraBand now, because we're back into the arms. But then we're swapping and changing. So I'll leave that in your capable hands. Generally, this red band is very heavy, so I don't tend to do heaps of arm stuff with it, but hey, here I am. Let's do it today. Saves changing. And last one. Good. And let's loosen up the band quite a lot, especially if you've got a heavy band. Sit up tall again. We're going to lift the arms up to shoulder height and release. Lift the arms up and release. So think really long spine. You're lifting up and out of that pelvis. You're right on your sit bones if possible. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Amazing. Good. I'm going to cross the band over my legs now, taking it about halfway, letting the heels relax into the floor. This time elbows are coming up nice and high. Again, nice, straight, long spine. Hope you're all coping there. And 3, 2, last one. And we're going to uncross the band. I'm going to leave the band reasonably tight here because we're going to add some abdominals in. Mini roll-ups, we're rolling down. We're going to pause just before our lower back is touching the floor. Really pull the belly button down, set the shoulders back because the band tends to pull them forward. And then we're going to lift up a little bit and then back to that point. Up a little bit and back to that point. So my lower back has not quite hit the ground yet. If this point is too low for you and does not agree with your spine, please go up a little higher. But please modify it to suit your body. This definitely isn't perfect for everyone, especially if you've just had a baby or something like that, or if you are pregnant. Definitely not one for you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way to the mat. Good. This next one, just as hard, slightly different. Nodding chin to chest. We're rolling up to that point just where our shoulder blades leave the mat, so our lower back is touching the floor. Then we roll up a little higher just so our lower back leaves, and then we lower back down. But we try to keep the base of our shoulder blades not touching the mat. Whew. And 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way flat. Oh my goodness, amazing. We're going to get rid of the TheraBand now. So just pop it to the side, making sure I leave time for all the things that I want to do in the next 10 minutes. All right, so you're going to bring your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little bit of a cuddle. And then you're going to grab onto your left leg and just send the right leg nice and long down onto the mat. So you're just going to pull that left knee in and just move it around a little bit out towards your armpit and then in towards the midline of your body, just seeing what you feel. We're going for a twisty back stretch now. So keep hold of the left knee with your right hand, keep it nice and close to your chest. Roll it over onto the floor. Place your hand on top of it so you encourage that knee to stay on the mat. And then you're going to twist open with the left excuse me, shoulder. So we're gently encouraging that left shoulder back down towards the mat, twisting through your waist. This is a beautiful stretch for most of us. Make sure this long leg is kind of still straight along your mat and you didn't bring it with you when you brought the left leg over. Try and breathe into this stretch. If you feel sticky like I do all the time, you want to really make the most of this stretch. It's so nice, feels so good. Okay. Oh, back through center. Just gently wriggle yourself back so that you're straight on the mat. We're going to straighten out our left leg and then bring the right knee all the way up into your armpit and just move it around a little. And then keeping the right knee nice and close to your body, grab it with your left hand, encourage it over onto the floor. Just wriggle around, put your left hand on top of your right knee, and then open up through that right shoulder. And just lie here and enjoy that feeling. Straighten up your left leg along the mat if you need to. Nice big breath. Try and fill up your lungs even though we're all twisted up. One more nice big breath. And we're going to encourage ourselves to come back through center. Whew. Okay, let's do a little bit of an extension for our spine, and then we'll do some rollovers because it feels good to do rollovers after you've done an extension. So I'm going to bring the feet nice and close to my hips, as close as they can manage, and I'll take the feet and knees together, but of course, doesn't matter if they're slightly apart. In fact, it might actually be a bit more comfortable if they're slightly apart. I'm going to just lift myself into a bridge here, and then I'm going to walk my elbows towards each other underneath, clasp my hands, and gently press down into the floor with my hands and encourage my hips to go a little bit higher. So I'm just getting that little bit of back extension. Open up through the ribs, push into the feet, the body weight up towards the shoulders, see how that feels. And just trying to get as much extension through the spine as we can. And then we're just going to release it a little bit. And then we're going to press up, opening up through your ribs. And then relax a little bit. So we'll just try that 2 more times, pressing up. And 1 more time. And then you can let go of your hands, wobble your way back down. And we're going to do a few rollovers. I'll try not to talk too much. I tend to squash the mic, which is sitting right there, but hopefully the audio doesn't drop out. But basically, we're taking the feet over towards the floor. You're going to put your hands on your back if you need to for support. And then we're just going to roll down. Again, just do your best. If it's not for you, go back to some bridging or some side twists or something like that. The hot tip, you can put your hands underneath the couch or something that's not going to move, and that gives you a little bit of leverage to get the feet over. So a few things you can do. All right, so set the lower back into the mat. Take the legs into tabletop. We're going to straighten out the legs and then we're going to take them over. So this is the hard part, getting your bums off the floor. Use your hands if you need to. Nice and carefully, just seeing how that feels on your back. Of course, you can support your back with your hands if you want to. Taking the feet down to the mat if you want, and then keeping the thighs close to the chest. We're going to roll down, circle the legs back together. Over we go. Flex, open, tap those feet on the mat, on the floor. Feel that beautiful back stretch. Rolling down, supporting your hips if you need to. Try and flatten out those abs. Flex, open, tap. Rolling down. And a few more. This time, let's spend a little bit of time in the rollover position if you want to. You can do gentle rocks back and forth. Maybe support your hips if you feel a bit like you need it. And then we're going to roll down. Oh, that's over now. Circle the legs around, bend the knees, find the floor, take the feet wide, and then just gently windscreen wiper those knees. I've already done a twisty stretch, so we don't need to be here for any length of time. So I'm going to swing myself up onto my knees. We're going to do a stretch to finish. So pop a pillow under your knee if you need it. Step all the way forward, and you're just going to lunge into this stretch. So you can see me like so. So we're aiming to stretch out our hip flexors. If you want to, take the arms up and just reach up and back a little bit, or maybe you take your hands behind you. Lift your chest up. Whatever feels nice. And we'll do the same to the other side. Aware that I'm now running out of time, as always. So settle into your hip flexor stretch. Then you can take your arms up or behind, whatever makes you happy. Really quick plank, because that's what I promised. I know we did one already, but let's just do one more quick one here. So straight into it, up onto your wrists or onto your elbows, whatever you choose. Pulling the tummy muscles in. Option to swing through side plank if you want to. If you're doing that, just be aware it's very strong on the shoulders. I'll leave that in your capable hands. Perhaps you've worked hard enough today. You don't need to do anything more for your shoulders. So if that's you, holding the plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lift the hips up, walk the feet in, place the feet flat, upside down, and we're going to roll up. Facing the front now, ready for the roll downs to finish class. So nice big breath in, and then exhale, rolling down. Hopefully your back feels a little bit more loose or gooey than it did when we started. We've done some twists, we've done some flexion, we've done those rollovers. Lots of things. Rolling up. And last one. And we're all done. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you joining me. Hope you have an excellent day, and I hope you see you back on the mat next week. All right. See you then. Have a great day. Bye.